Hey, how's it going out there, everybody? Cool Colas here to bring you the hustler's perspective. Hope everybody's having a good day today. I got a pretty cool topic for you guys. So, this right here will be video number 2 of 7. So, I hope you guys enjoy what I have to say. It's going to be a little bit quicker because I kind of want to get this message out. I think it's important, but I want to keep it short and sweet because it's something I just want to cover the basics on. So, what I want to talk to you all about today is what an asset actually is. So, if you guys heard me before, I made a video where I was talking about liabilities. And I had mentioned that a liability is something that is going to take away, and we're talking about financial liabilities, of course. That's my disclaimer. Um, a financial liability is something that's going to be a debt towards you. So it's going to deplete from the amount of money that you're actually making. So however much money you have coming in, it takes away from that. So that can be any type of debt, such as a loan, like a student loan or a credit cards or anything else that has to do with residual debt. It has anything to do with expenses as well too. Those are liabilities. Like, for example, a financial liability is a car. A lot of people don't believe that. They think it's an asset, and they believe it's an asset because it gets you from A to B. So I mean, like, I guess my point is there is an ROI from having a car, but the problem is that it's not a financial. Your ROI is not financial. So the point that I'm trying to make here is that there's a lot of things that you believe that are assets that are really liabilities, and I wanted to make that differentiation of things such as cars. Another one are houses, like at least the mortgage payments on them. That's a liability as well too. Clothes are a liability. Jewelry is a liability. A lot of people don't realize that those are all like financial liabilities that people buy. And like I said, loans and things like that, and credit cards, those are liabilities as well too, because they don't give you money. They take money away from you. They take more money away from you than you even expect, especially with loans and credit cards and things like that. They have interest rates, which takes more money from you. That's how they have to make their money. Anyway, not trying to talk about a liability too much here. Just wanted to kind of brief you all on something I have talked about before in the past. So, going back. So, an asset is something that actually adds to your wealth. So, in other words, an asset does the direct opposite of what a liability does. So, the reason why I wanted to kind of get into this topic is because I feel most people do not know what an asset is, and because of that they don't know an example of it. Because I'm a visual learner, I want to give you all examples, and I'll do that later, but I want to be able to explain to you all what it is first. So that's the first thing. I think we also need to discuss the basics of wealth building and what's going to be required of you in order to build wealth in the way that you see it fit for yourself. I also want to talk about just different, I would say semi-residual, because nothing is 100% residual, but semi-residual sources of income that can help supplement your finances positively. So in other words, you're going to definitely be doing some legwork, and then you're definitely going to be doing some monitoring with a lot of these different assets and these different ways to make money that are going to kind of add to your finances. So I wanted to talk about that because it can, like I said, be very positive for your finances. So the other thing too is I want to talk about something that was going to kind of offset debt as well too. So offset all the debt and the expenses that you have when it comes to your finances. So assets like kind of take care of those things in a way where they're not so crippling towards you, and like I said, your level of wealth. And it does play a huge factor, of course, in your net worth, as as it is. The next reason why I felt that this topic was important is because I wanted to um, show that there's a huge separation between people who I would consider wealthy and everyone else, like even rich people. Because the reason why I say rich is because you can be a part of a certain tax bracket because of the amount of income that you make from your job or from whatever it is that you do, but that's not including your expenses necessarily. So I mean, that there's definitely a difference between being wealthy and being rich. Being wealthy allows you to be able to keep a lot of that money that you have in your pocket. So it's all about how much money you can keep, and then how much money you can like continue to grow in the process as well too. So the other thing is that I think and I think this might be the biggest issue, there's a lack of a desire to build assets because people are kind of settled in what they have done, what they have learned. They feel, a lot of people, especially like you get older people who have this issue a lot, they feel as though they worked hard enough their entire life, and they had a job and they did what they could while they were in their job, like basically grinding away and making all this money. They feel they don't have time or energy to really put into creating assets for themselves or for their children or anything like that. So I feel it's not really in anything that's like important to a lot of people. It's very important, but other people mentally don't think about it because they don't like teach those things like to their children. So the next thing that I kind of wanted to talk to you all about were ways and examples of what I mean by assets. So the first thing I think of that is an asset is real estate. Real estate is a great asset because real estate allows you to make money based off of like housing, basically, like your housing market. So you're investing your money pretty much on house renovations and selling them out to people, and then getting a certain amount of money for what you're doing, basically. So it's a process of renovating and then selling. Well, renovating, marketing, and selling, because you have to be able to market what you're doing, well as well too. So it's a good like source of income. But the thing is that it's not really residual. It does take a lot of legwork. It does take a lot of energy, and it does take capital as well too. That capital might not necessarily be from you. You actually can get loans from banks and things like that for doing real estate. It just depends on how you work it. Again, this is not a video about real estate. This is just kind of giving you the ins and outs of how, like, I guess all these are examples. So basically, you're making money from doing those renovations. So you're putting in an initial investment and you're getting out much more back. So again, it's semi-residual because like you are getting a lot more money than you initially like expected to get, but you do have to do a lot of work. The other thing is stocks and bonds. That's my second one. Stocks and bonds are important because it's all about investing in the stock market. And basically, you're getting a high return when you put your money into different stocks. So essentially, or small portions of companies that you're basically investing in. And whenever they do well in the market, then the amount of money that you invested rises, and you get a whole lot more because you get a better return. So again, I think I did a video on this before, but it's better than like having your money and putting it in a bank or doing a certificate of deposit or anything like that. Now, some of those ways are a little bit better than just having your money do nothing or just having them sit in a regular bank that you go into. Like certificates of deposit, I think, are a little better than some of those other ways, but this it's still not great, and it still doesn't do a lot for you like investing would. Investing is in the stock market. Those things are complete assets, and they're assets because they give you high returns on the money that you have already invested. So again, very semi-residual thing. Basically, you're keeping up with how the patterns are going for companies that are doing well, companies that are not doing well, knowing when to keep your money in, knowing when to pull out, knowing when to put your money into something different. So that's another good asset. And these are the last two, and these are the ones that aren't talked about as much. The first two are talked about a little bit more because a lot of people are used to hearing about those. The third one that I want to talk about is precious metals. If you ever like look on TV, you always, or if you like see a cartoon show, you always see a character, and like let's pretend we're talking about a greedy character, a character who is like looking for buried treasure, or they're looking for gold or whatever, and they're like, oh my god, like it's like I've got to find this gold because I'll make a lot of money. Now that describes like probably an infinite amount of shows. So I mean, like, there's no specific show I'm talking about when I say this, but all I'm trying to get at is that applies to the real world as well too. So all of those precious metals and treasures and golds and things like that stuff actually can be converted into cash, especially because a lot of those are products and metals that other people are envious of, and they want. So it's very valuable. So I think that precious metals are going to be good assets as well too. Now there's not a lot of people who are like going, around trying to find gold and stuff like that and then trying to like sell them. There's not a lot of people doing stuff like that, but it is an asset and it can bring you a lot of wealth. So the last one I want to tell you all about is cash. Cash is basically what it is. Like it's not taxed. There's not anything coming off of it. You can just go anywhere basically with what you got and just pay for things. So it's an asset because you're not. It's not really like being taxed. So you're not like losing any money. Whereas if you are working your job, of course, you're gonna lose money in the beginning because there's taxes on the money that you're actually making. So cold hard cash is pretty much an asset, and that's why I think a lot of businesses do this, but they'll and I think you can only get away with it for a certain amount of time, but a lot of businesses will go around and they'll like try to like have like a restaurant or something like that. I'm just giving you an example of a type of business, and they may say like we only accept cash at this restaurant or whatever because that's a straight asset, and anything else that they do that they have record of, like that they do by card and all that can be tracked, and then like they feel as though if they have just cash they don't have to report it and all this other stuff, especially if they don't make if they don't make over $599, which if you have a restaurant, I really truly hope you're making more than $599 a year. But my point is that like it's an asset because there's no taxes or anything else that's taken off of it. So it's something that you can immediately use and has great buying power. So that's all I wanted to kind of get out. But anyway, that was just a quick video. I didn't really want to do too much. I just wanted to kind of explain what an asset was. Didn't want to ramble on. So I hope this was helpful to somebody who wanted to just understand the basics. Anyway, so if you like the video today and you want to see a lot more and see what's going to be coming in the next week and what's going to be coming in the future, then feel free to subscribe to this channel. So please hit that subscribe button. And also too, if you want, you can share it and you can put the video wherever you want so that you can make sure that you tell other people about how awesome this vlog is. So if you guys want to see my Facebook page for this actual YouTube channel, then you can go to the Hustler's Perspective YouTube channel. If you guys want to see my blog, you can go to thehustlersjackpot.com. If you guys want to see the Facebook page for my blog, you can go to the Hustlers Jackpot. If you guys want to see my Instagram page for business, you can go to @thehustlersjackpot. And if you guys want to go to my personal page, you can go to @Kukolas. With that being said, I will see you guys later. There's going to be a whole lot more to come, so continue to stay tuned and keep hustling.